Hello everyone, my name is Daniel Creel, brand ambassador of Pin Seeker and owner of VC Golf. And today I got a pretty cool little thing to show you. It's gonna be a training aid. This is called the ArmAlarm. It's from WhyGolf, and if you guys tune into our videos consistently, you'll see that I use a lot of training aids from the WhyGolf company. I really am a fan of theirs. They're simple and they get the job done. So what it is these two straps that are on the arm, and what you do is basically it has a magnet, and if your arms separate, it'll beep, so you get an audio. There's plenty of training aids out there, and I've got one right here that help with the similar things. So really what this is to do is during the golf swing, we want to keep a constant width between the wrists and the forearms, okay? So what's gonna happen is we want to get up here, and a lot of golfers separate and their elbow flies out, and I call it cranking the lawnmower. So if you do that, you get a beep, you need to start over. Well, a lot of times, people have a good takeaway, and then they come down, and then what happens is these arms begin to separate. One of the most common things I see with golfers is these elbows begin to separate, and we start seeing a fracture in this arm and this arm, and what it looks like is an upside-down house, where we want to keep it more like a teepee through the impact zone like this. So when that separation happens with the elbows this way, we start decelerating everywhere in the body, and that energy has to go somewhere, and the most common place for that energy to go is to bunch up, and people, their chest comes out of the shot, and then their shoulders bunch up. So if that energy is going up, it's not going through the ball. So yet our low point, we struggle with low point control, which is hitting it solid, and we also struggle with distance. We start losing distance, and on the follow-through, we start getting a chicken wing or little separation between the belly and the butt of the club. So if we're able to keep this here, here, and here, we're gonna have tons of width and tons of space throughout the swing, and we're gonna be able to generate that rotation because that energy is not going up. Why I choose this over something like this, which I use this a ton, you basically put it over your head, and you squeeze it here, and you have to keep the ball, people use balloons, you have to keep the ball between the arms throughout the swing. The problem with that is we all have different shoulder limitations. Some people can externally rotate their shoulder more than others. So if you have that little ball here, you might not be able to take a full swing. Well, this, you can actually flip and make this as long or short as you want. So you can make it as difficult or easy as you really want. Also, if you slide these bands more towards the wrist, you see my forearms are moving and the wrists don't move as much. So if you put them on the wrist, that's where people I have when I'm using this in instruction, where they need to begin. It is an easier drill when it's at the wrist. Once they start understanding the movements, you can slide it up and it becomes much, much harder to keep it together. So I'm just gonna demonstrate really quick on how this works. So I've got it a little bit above my wrist. And again, you want to reset it each time. I'll use this camera here. I want to make it a little bit tighter. It was a little too loose. You lock it in, and it sticks. And you can see it didn't beep. So that was a very successful thing. Also, they added a little treat to this training aid. This is such a good idea. I mean, I'm jealous of whoever created this because it's so smart. You just clip this on your glove. So there it is. You'll see another little magnet there. And again, I really love this because it doesn't force, there's so many training aids that force the golfer to maintain flexion or extension through the impact, whatever it is. But so if this also helps with grip. So many people get here and they have such a strong grip that pops off. You know, you can see 4 knuckles and they're like, why can't I even grip the club? Well, it's because we got to get a little bit more of a neutral grip. So what this does is help the golfer get that feedback. So if they get up top, so I'm going to go here. If they get up top and start cupping that wrist, they can get instant feedback on where it needs to be. So here I am. Look at that flat wrist, an extended wrist. So flexed wrist there. And then also through the impact, which is a little bit harder to catch because your downswing is so fast. So I always tell people to slow their swing down to see if it breaks before impact or after impact. So if I get here, go back to this camera, and I flip, which most golfers, they start flipping here, and when they make impact, so here I am, you'll notice that their hands are over their back thigh. And what we want to do is keep the hand acceleration forward and lead, and it doesn't come. So partnering this with that ArmAlarm helps you understand how the upper body needs to maintain rotation and how we keep the arms at a constant distance between each other. We can hold a little ball between here almost. We don't want to do this. And what's cool about this training aid is it allows the golfer to get creative, think about it, visualize it, and also know when they succeed or fail. It's so good. It doesn't force the golfer to do anything. Again, guys, check this out. ArmAlarm from WhyGolf, one of the top training aids. I'm telling you, it's not just me. I bought this. They didn't send it to me. These things are really, really good, and it can improve everybody's game. So I hope you enjoy the ArmAlarm. Check them out at WhyGolf. Thanks for tuning in. If you like our content, make sure you like and subscribe, okay? Check it out. We're putting out content weekly. And any comments below, we read them, we'll respond. And don't forget to play Pin Seeker, our global closest to the pin competition. Download the app, Pin Seeker, and you can jump in if you have access to a simulator. Thanks again, guys. Until next time, happy pin seeking.